There's no question the decision by the Ohio Controlling Board to spend $25 million in federal stimulus dollars on further studies of the 3C rail plan has brought passenger rail throughout the Buckeye State much closer to reality. But as this study gets underway, the fact of the matter is, it is not the first to be done. An intercity rail system has been studied time and time again dating back to the 70s. Since 1977, the state has managed or participated in 7 studies on either high-speed rail or passenger rail service across Ohio. Those have amounted to a price tag of at least $4.7 million. The state has also spent $50,000 on a study currently being conducted by Amtrak to determine what Ohio would need to initiate passenger rail service and what the state could expect in ridership and revenue.
What else do you need to know? You're either going to do it or you're not.
Upgrade the roads, get the roads around the neighborhood, looking better, and upgrading the neighborhoods that are run down. Put the money there instead of building a rail project that's been in the studies for 30 plus years.
What is this study going to tell us that we don't already know?
This is a lot of the detailed information that we really don't have yet.
Scott Varner with the Ohio Department of Transportation says this study will help create a blueprint for the actual project.
But what we haven't done yet is been able to drill down to the specifics. Where exactly do the tracks need to go and what dimensions? When you pick the locations for a station, what should each of those stations have? That detailed design work, that engineering that we've never been able to drill down and do, we can now finally do, in part because we have these federal dollars that have been made available to us.
He says the state is also required to conduct a study in order to receive $375 million in federal stimulus money they plan to fund the project with.
A study that was done in the 1970s will not be valid for the economic conditions of Ohio in 2010.
How come those haven't become reality? I mean, how come these studies were done and sort of stopped right there?
Each one was very unique. A large reason, probably one of the greatest reasons that many of those studies never went further was because of funding. Today we do have that funding in place.
Even though the federal money has been awarded to Ohio, it took political maneuvering on the controlling board to spend the money for this study. And according to Newark Republican Jay Hottinger, those moves, quote, will only poison the well for future discussion, which could ultimately mean one more expensive study and not a train to show for it.
So this will have a major impact on our state, not just in terms of transportation choice, but also in jobs and economic development. And that's really what drives the need for this project.
Yeah, it's about time to just either do it or don't. You don't need to be spending any more money. Not mine, anyway.
In Columbus, Tom Brockman, NBC4.